Hello students, welcome to Avision SSC Bank exams. I'm Sneha ma'am with you, and today I'll be moving with the second part of our practice session. As I've said that we have finished talking about the basics of grammar because they are important for you to study and know thoroughly, understand them and practice a lot. Okay, before appearing for your exams, and I have particularly paid attention to those sections only which are relevant to you, relevant for your examination purpose. I have not made videos on anything which is not needed to you, not required to you, and whatever are made, those are absolutely necessary for you. Otherwise you won't be able to solve your English portion perfectly. So, and for the comprehension part, I would say that practice reading of every kind. Whatever you come across, kindly read them and try to understand the basic of that, basic crux of that. If you don't understand any portion of it, any word of it, underline that, show it to your teacher, whoever is there nearby you, search it on Google, what does that imply? And with this, in this way you will be able to solve the other portions of questions like comprehension, para jumbles and everything, right? We have concentrated on grammar and the vocab portion. For grammar, I've already finished making videos on introduction of parts of speech because that is very important. Until and unless you know the various parts of speech and their functions in the sentences, you won't be able to uh, write properly in your exam, solve the questions, right? So, and that is why they are important. After that, I have been, making videos on verbs because verbs are the pillars of grammar, as we can say. If you don't know verbs, you won't be able to understand tenses as well, right? Because tenses are utmost related to it. So, yeah, that is the thing. This is the entire thing. Tenses are important, and what else is important is voice and subject verb agreement. Subject verb agreement. Okay, they are also almost every year I've seen 4 5 questions from that portion, and voices also. For vocabs, for preparing your vocabs, I would suggest what to do, because see, there's no point and that's not actually possible and viable for you that to mug up random words, study random words. How would you remember them, right? The most important thing that you need to do about vocabs is when you learn about adjectives. When we learn adjectives, maybe I'll try to make a video on vocabs specially, okay, with all the questions and the techniques of that vocabs. And with vocabs I mean entire thing of antonym synonym also, because there are almost 5 to 10 questions on vocabs as well, isn't it? So for vocabs you need to learn adjectives very thoroughly. Because why? Because see, most of the words, they are coming from adjectives, and adjectives are something from where you can actually divert to nouns as well, because some words will be formed from nouns, some words will be formed from verbs, and very less from adverbs. Mostly noun, verb and adjectives, they are related. Like for example, suppose brotherhood. This word, this is a noun, right? So this is a concept, and there comes this word fraternity, which is its vocab, which is its synonym. Okay, for antonym you can write rivalry or hatred or animosity, like this. I'm just citing examples. Okay, so for this portion, as well. You need to know some words that you will come to know when you learn about adjectives thoroughly. What are the kinds of usually adjectives? How many kinds are there? What are the types? I know what is their conversion from noun and verbs, and along with that, what are the what are the synonyms and antonyms along with it. That is really important. So, moving on to our practice sessions for today, I would like to start with, and as the last day as well, I'm collecting questions from your previous year questions. Okay, this is not something I've made up. These are all previous year questions along with the answer. I would discuss with you what is the answer and why it is the answer. Okay, I mean, how is it different from the others that makes it the answer? So let's start off. The first is select an antonym of the word hilarious. So what is the meaning of the word antonym? It's the meaning that it needs an opposite meaning word. Hilarious means very funny, something which is funny and happy. So, so you can see already three words which are its synonyms only: happy, merry, and blithe. So obviously, sad is the last portion, last word. That is okay. Sad. This one will be the answer for this. The second one is select a synonym. Synonym means similar meaning word of pathetic, pitiful, curious, insignificant, dull. So pathetic means something which is very sad. And along with that, I believe pitiful is the perfect answer, because the others don't mean pathetic. Curious means when you want to know much. Insignificant means something which is not important. Okay, dull means which is not bright. So I think these three are not correct, and the perfect for pathetic, perfect synonym is pitiful, which is something very sad, which is full of pathos. The word pathos means sadness. Pathetic, sadness, pitiful, all these are related words. Sorry. Then comes the next one, which is a substitute of the underlined word of the given sentence. Okay, like this is a sentence correction question. There is a great degrade in values in modern age. So, is there something like great degrade? Obviously, no. There is nothing called a great degrade. But why is it not that? Because degrade means a verb. Degrade is the verb form, isn't it? And we here require a noun. Degrade in values is not grammatically correct. You can write values have degraded. That can be an option. Values have degraded. But that's not our sentence, right? That's not our question that has been asked in SSC. That was there is a great degrade in value. So what is the perfect answer for this? Simple degradation of values. Degradation is a noun of values. Degradation means the nature of being degraded. So this is it. Number 4 is select the correct indirect form. I have recently finished making videos on direct indirect speech. So I think students would watch that. Those of you who need it, who require it. But for that, I would again say, if you haven't watched video on verb and tense and now you are proceeding directly to narration, I don't think you would understand much. If your base is not very clear, if you want to know from the beginning, if you want to know it from the start, please watch the videos of verbs also, tenses also, and then proceed to narration and verbs. So this one says, he said to me, what are you doing? This is a direct speech. So you have to make it indirect and in fact select the correct form. The first is, he said, that's what I was doing. So that is absolutely a wrong alternative, because um, we don't put said, that, what together, right? And first of all, what is the worst mistake is, this is not a statement. Okay, not a statement. When it is a question, we have a question in our question, isn't it? This is a question, so we have to write asked. The next one also has, he said, what I had been doing. Obviously, this won't be, because tense is different and said is also wrong. Next one says asked. He asked me what I did. But that is wrong because the tense is wrong. It will be in the continuous tense only. Present continuous. In the question, you have present continuous, right? So it will be changed into what? Past continuous. Simple. I have told you all that whatever present tense will be used, exactly that corresponding past tense will be used. If it's continuous, then past continuous. If it is simple present, simple past. This is it. This is the simple formula. But here it said what I did, so obviously it is not correct. The next one says, he asked me what I was doing, and in fact this is the correct option, because asked is also there and what I was doing is also there. So this gives you the past continuous. And since this is not a statement, this is a question, we have to write asked. The next is number 5. In the sentence, identify the statement segment which has the error. Okay, again, error detection. This is error detection. ED. ED. But this one was sentence correction. This one. There is a difference. In this, the modern man is busy acquiring more and more wealth and designing ways to invest it in more sense pleasures. Okay. So everything was correct, and you can, if you read it, you will see that the mistake lies here, because modern man is busy is correct, acquiring more and more wealth is correct, designing ways to invest it was doing is correct. More and more senses pleasure. So what will it be? In more sensual pleasure. It will actually be, because, but I'm just telling you, because they can also interchange your questions and give this exactly, or change it a bit and give you in the sentence correction. Okay. So in fact, you would have to know that, okay, what is the correct form, because identifying the error is not enough. Anyway, you have to know what is the correct form, because these are the things which they just change and mix a bit and then give you in the sentence correction, and vice versa. So in more senses, pleasure is not the correct form. It will be sensual, because sensual means it's an adjective which is describing what kind of pleasure. It is a sensual pleasure. But senses means, sense is a noun, isn't it? So that doesn't go. A noun can't qualify a noun. Only an adjective can qualify a noun. So this is the adjectival form, adj. right? Adjectival form, and this is a noun. This is also a noun. So you need an adjective. This is the wrong portion. Moving on to the next one, we have my shoes were worn out, so I had to buy a new one. See, concentrate. You have to, in the first go, I believe almost 99%, 95% students would believe that this is entirely correct and they will select no improvement, isn't it? But this is actually wrong. See, shoes. Shoes, what have we learned? This is a question from where? Subject verb agreement, right? Subject verb agreement. I've already finished making a video on this topic, but as I said, do watch your basics and then come to watch subject verb for better results if you want to properly know it, properly understand that. Shoes were worn out. See, shoes is something that is used in plural. Why? Because this is a pair. We always say a pair of shoes. Even if we are talking about someone's shoes, we are not using it in a plural sense. We will have a plural verb because shoes are always plural. Shoes, spectacles, jeans, trousers, everything. These tongs, there are some dresses which are used in pairs like trousers and everything, pants, um, instruments like tongs. I'm sure you've heard of tongs. This is a small instrument. Pliers. Pliers is also an instrument. Then spectacles. So shoes is also similar and is used in a plural sense. So I had to buy. If it is written a new one, this is not agreeing to the sentence because this is singular, right? A new one means one thing. A means singular, but we can't write a. So what is the correct change? A new ones? No, we can't do that. The new ones, that is also not correct. Straight away new ones. We will omit a. We won't have a. My shoes were worn out, so I had to buy new ones and also add an S because, as I said, it will be plural. Because shoes are always used in pairs referred as were and are. Okay? Your shoes are so beautiful. Your shoes are so cool. I got a cool pair of shoes. So these are all the various examples. They are used in plural. Number 7 is again a speech, again a narration. Okay, last one I would. No, no. Wait. Okay. Yes. This is again a narration question. So I hope if you have followed yesterday's video also, you are getting a number of narration questions. Narration and SVO questions, that is subject verb SVA, sorry. Voice questions also are quite frequent. So these three are the most important things, and in order to solve that, verbs has to be your perfect. And also yes, tense is also there. Tenses. Yeah. She said to me, what time is your flight tomorrow? So this is our question. And what will be the correct answer for that? She asked me what time is my flight the next day. Because as I said, it is a question they have wrote asked. So you may think, okay, this is correct, but this is wrong because is my flight is not the correct tense. As I said, what time is your flight is a simple present tense, right? But and so what do we want? A simple past tense. As I said, only the corresponding. Let me get an eraser so that I can write it properly. Corresponding to simple present, our reported speech will be in simple past. Yes, right? The next one says, was she asked me what time was my flight tomorrow? Okay. Here you will find that, okay, I think this is the correct answer because they have written, he asked, my tense is also correct. But one thing they need to understand is we don't write tomorrow in the reported speech. No, we don't write that. What do we write? I already said in the video on narration that there are some words like tomorrow, today, yesterday, here, there. These are some of the words that change in our reported speech. Why? What is the reason? Because when we are just writing under the quotes, we are writing the current speech, whatever they talk during that time. But later on, reported speech, what does it imply? That we are reporting it and now it is not current, right? This is not the live speech we are talking of. We are reporting it in our words. So that is why tomorrow makes no sense over there. The correct technical answer is asked me what time was my flight the following day. Okay? Following day. And also the number 4 answer is not correct because here they have introduced a future tense will be. Future tense is not coming in this sentence because we don't need it. We have simple present, we just need simple past, that's all. That is our only thing. So I hope this is clear. The next two are some spelling, incorrect spellings which are given, and that you have to carefully know, and this is also the reason why you have to see and read random words. Okay, this will also serve your purpose for vocabs as well as spellings as well as everything, as well as antonym, synonym, everything. So number 1 is Pierce. Pierce spelling is correct. Pierce. Next is piteous. Piteous means something which is worth pitying. Pursue means when you carry on with something. And next is partner, and the spelling is wrong. So the correct answer is this because we don't have an R with it. If we have to write partner, we have an R, but the R has been swiped. Okay, it will be before T. The next is also the same questions. The first is nuisance. Nuisance spelling is right. Negligible. Negligible is also right. Negotiate. That is wrong. Okay, because this is absolutely a wrong spelling. And the next is necessary. So this is also correct. Number 10 is an idiom. And I hope if you have followed the questions, you know what are idioms. Idioms are sayings. Okay, idioms are some sayings which actually says more, means they don't verbally mean anything, they go beyond verbal meaning, beyond verbal meaning. Is it okay? They go beyond verbal meaning. So blow one's own trumpet means someone is blowing their own trumpet. That is not the meaning. They go beyond their word meaning, as I said. So number 1 option is condemn yourself, right? Blow one's own trumpet means when you praise yourself. When you say that you have done a great job. For example, you have done something worth mention or worth applause, something very good you've done, and you are informing people about that yourself. So that means you're blowing your own trumpet, isn't it? So that means praising yourself that you have done a great job. That is why this is the correct answer out of all the other options, because one is condemning others, the other is follow the others. That is absolutely not relevant to this, and the fourth is be self reliant, so we don't need it at all. We need praise oneself. Number 11 is to fight on the battlefield for the sake of one's country needs a great strongness. Okay, this is a question of adjective. Here you need no, in fact, the correct word. So this is a noun. So this is an abstract noun. Means anyway it is related to vocabs. As I said, to improve your vocabs, you need to read grammar as well. And from because how will you catch the words from random grammar only, right? And to know the nature of it, what is the function? As in the last slide, I showed you the question on grade degrade, right? So grade degradation we can write, but we can't write grade degrade. So because degrade is a verb form of degradation, isn't it? So that doesn't go with values. Okay. So pertaining to this one, a great strongness is not at all relevant, because strong, first of all, we don't have a word called strongness. We have the word strength. But is this related to strength more, or does it need courage? I believe it needs courage. To fight on battlefield for the sake of one's country needs great courage. So this is the thing. This you can write. This we can actually write. From needs great courage. Great courage. Hmm. 11 is again, that is a voice question. Okay, this is a voice question. I have made a video on voice. If you have to watch it, do watch it after your concept of verbs and tense are clear. Okay, so the question is, this beautiful story was written by Maya. So what is the form? This is the passive form, because this shows the sub it shows Maya as the object and story as the subject, right? This beautiful story is the subject, object is Maya, and something has been done by Maya. So Maya is the active doer of it. And what will be the right answer for this? So we have to turn Maya into a subject, and we have to also consider the tense and verb structure correctly. So what is the first option? It is Maya is writing this beautiful story. We don't need an is writing, do we? We don't need it. This is present continuous, and we don't have a continuous form in the passive form. So we can't just introduce a new tense form in our passive sentence, right? So is writing, we can dump the option. The next is Maya writes this beautiful story. We don't need it. We don't need writes, because this is a present tense, and was written is in past tense, right? Was written is a past tense. It is be, the past form of be plus V3, and it is simple past. Simple past. The tense and the subject object needs to be crystal clear. So every time you get the correct answer. See, number 4 option was writing. But as I already said, we don't need a continuous tense and we don't have actually a continuous tense first of all. So how can we just introduce a continuous tense in our answer? So that is why 3 is the most appropriate one, because this is a simple past tense as well as Maya is the subject. Maya wrote this beautiful story. So this is our absolutely correct option. The next is the boy which stole the money was caught by the police. This is a question on pronouns. For this you have to know pronouns. This is a pronouns also video has been done, because pronouns are very important. Okay, I hope students would watch that if you want to know more about this. So which is the pronoun over here, is right? But do we use which with a living being? The boy is a living being. It's a person. It's not an animal. And which is a demonstrative pronoun, right? But we don't use which with a living being. We use which with things. The book which I gave you. The dog which I fed. For boy or girl, for a living being, we write who. For humans, we write who. Who living beings. Right? And which for things. Which is for things. Hence, the mistake portion is 3. The boy which. We don't need a which. We won't write which. The perfect is who. The boy who stole the money was caught by the police. This is simple. So, this is the answer. This is our answer. I guess these are clear and you will be able to. So, you have got to know quite a few number of questions. What is the solution of it? Right? And okay, for today, this will be enough, I think, because we will continue the next day with our thing, with our solutions. These days, what are the remaining time for our classes and everything before your exams? I would collect all the questions from all the papers, last year's all sessions paper, and combine the English portion together and find the answer and discuss with you. I've been also explaining that why the others are not the answer, because knowing the answer is not your goal. Knowing how to solve the questions is your goal. For this purpose, you would have to understand that why the other options are not correct. How to choose your answer. You need to choose your answer, because in your exam you will have separate questions. Obviously, these are all practice. We can only practice. We can't go in the exam and solve your papers. So for that you need to know these practice sessions, that okay, this is the reason why we are choosing this answer. So when similar questions are coming, I would be able to write it correctly. So thank you for today. Our class is over for today. Next week we will be continuing with our practice sessions, and I'll be bringing some more questions to discuss like this. Okay, thank you.